Hello everyone, Yellow's Groskamp here from Team Infinity, and today in this video I want to show you how I maintenance my IF18-2 after a practice day like Sunday. You probably have seen my video from Sunday that I practiced. And I ran around 300 laps, so after this day I of course have to clean the car. And today in this video I want to show you how I clean the car, which parts of the car I take out and which one I leave. Of course you can rebuild the complete car, but I just want to show you how I clean the car so it's ready for the next session. It's not going to be a full rebuild, but just of course the drivetrain. I have to check the engine, clean the car, of course, every part is clean. So in the next few minutes you will see how I maintenance my IF18-2. So basically the first thing I will do is I will inspect the car after the day of testing. And as you can see, I have tools, I have greases, I have shock oil, I have brake cleaner and a towel. So I can clean the car. First of all, the car felt really nice after my practice, so I will check the setup. So I will go through pretty much the setup, ride height, droop setting, camber, caster, all that kind of thing that can change after your maintenance. So I'm just gonna check the setup and I will write down the setup. So after the maintenance I can put back the same setup in the car. So first thing I'm gonna do, take out the tire and I will take out the engine. I keep the engine and the pipe attached to each other and I will remove the fuel tank. Always put this on the fuel tank so it cannot lose the fuel. And now I take out the engine with the pipe. Remove the middle belt and check if the drivetrain is free front and rear. Now I will remove the body support. Next thing, I will remove the shocks. After the shocks are removed, I will check if the suspension works freely. The suspension still feels free, so only have to clean it and that's it. When the shocks are off, you can take off the spring and you can check if there's not too much air inside the shock. If you feel there's too much air, you can change the shock oil, but if this still feels nice, you can keep the shock oil inside and use it for the next practice session. Of course, if you have a race, it's better to change the shock oil once a day. Next thing I will remove is the battery. The nice thing that you can do now, because the battery is out of the car, you can charge it with the balancer. So I will start with the rear section of the car. So I will take out the side pulley. I take out the main shaft. Take off the gearbox. Remove the main shaft. And now I'm gonna visual check the pulleys. Sometimes there can be dirt in the pulleys, or they can be worn out. In this case it's only dirt and I will clean it. So another nice thing to clean the car is the putty gun. You easily push the putty wherever you want and it keeps the dirt. It's very nice to clean. So again, I leave all the suspension where it is. Just check everything works free, also the roll bar. And now I will remove the top deck. And as you can see, under the top deck, it's very dirty. So I'm gonna take the cleaning putty to remove all the rubber and the oil and the dust. And as you can see, there's also a lot of dirt here. I also gonna remove it with the cleaning putty. As you can see also on the top deck there's the radio tray. I always check if the servo is still attached. And you can also check if the servo horn is still tight, just an extra check. So now I will remove the drivetrain in the front, and I will start to remove the side pulley. And same with all the pulleys, I'm gonna check if there's any dirt or rubber inside the pulley. And if so, I will clean it with a knife or a very sharp body reamer. I also check the bearings, and if it's still very free, I will leave it. Now I will remove the one-way. So I detach the complete upper part of the front bulkhead, so you will keep the roll bar at the place, so you don't have to reset the roll bar. Now the one-way can be easily taken out. Also here, check the bearings and check the outdrives if they're still free and fine and not worn out, and of course the pulley if there's no dirt inside. Visually also check the belt, and also in the belt can be a lot of dirt, so you can also clean it again, and yeah, you can judge for yourself if you have to replace the belt. But if the belt not slip yet, you can use it for a longer time. To remove the front belt, you can easily detach the steering rod on one side of the servo saver, and you can take out the belt. Next thing is to remove the drive shaft and the wheel axle in front, and remove the bearings from the upright. So basically the drivetrain is completely out of the car. As you can see, the suspension remains on the car as well as the bulkheads. Again, if everything works free, there's no need to take off the bulkheads. Again, this is only for the next practice session. If it's for a race, of course you can remove more to check better. But in general, if everything works freely and it's smooth and you have still little play on the parts, there's no need to take out more than this. So I'm gonna clean what I see now, and afterwards I'm gonna start to rebuild the car. So here I am. Now the car is pretty much cleaned up. Everything is clean, and I'm gonna reassemble the car now. As you can see, most of the drivetrain parts are still on my table. The top deck with the radio tray, and a few things I will tell you before I put everything back together. First of all, the drive shaft and the wheel axle was cleaned with a motor cleaner, and it's completely fresh and clean, checked. The pin as well as also the bushing. So I will use the SMJ Ultra Joint lubricant for the drive shaft, and I put a little bit inside, put the bushing in, and put the grease all the way around. Take the wheel axle. This is the front axle, and the long axle needs the short wheel axle. I put the pin through and check if it's working smooth. So I will prepare all four now. So the drive shafts are done. They are all greased up, ready to go. Second thing is the two-speed. For the one-way, I don't really touch the one-way. For the two-speed, the second speed, I always check the bearing. They have to be smooth. And for the two-speed bell, I always clean it with some motor cleaner, and that the surface is completely degreased and clean. I will do the same with the two-speed itself. Also the two-speed, clean it with a motor cleaner, And I also check if there's still a bit of play, or nothing really has changed on the surface, but everything looks nice, so I will put it back in. So before I'm gonna put everything back together, I want to do one more thing, and I'm gonna put some shock oil on the pulleys, just one drop, just to make the belt go smooth on the pulley. And when I've done that, I will start putting everything back together. So that's what I'm gonna do now. Now, thank you again for watching my video. I hope this was helpful for you, and I hope to see you next time again.